Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with the SmallExpLamp account tour. Got a couple buddies here to my sides, got quite a few of them. Bringing in all the alt accounts today to go ahead and show you guys what is going on, because I know that, over the time on this channel, we've gone through quite a few accounts and wanted to go ahead and show you guys what's happening on all of them at the moment, where they all stand, and what all I've done in this game collectively. So let's go ahead, get right on into it. We're going to start with the SmallExpLamp account. That's not true. Let's go in chronological order. Alrighty, so for starters, we have the LargeExpLamp. This is actually my original account that I ever used when playing RuneScape. It wasn't called LargeExpLamp back in the day. I actually can't tell you what it is called because it was one of those things where way back when you used to log in with a username, so I don't want any of you guys hacking me. Stay away from me. Obviously, you can meet me in-game or whatever, but please don't hack me. I'm essentially max combat, and then the rest of my skills are pretty poor. I have 94 Slayer on this account while also having 55 runecrafting, 69 woodcutting on this account. I haven't even learned the art of good AFK yet at this point. This was my first old school RuneScape account, and essentially I just loved doing Slayer. That was really how I was brought up in the RuneScape realm. I just loved AFKing Slayer, loved going after some combat XP and getting some GP and all that jazz. So yeah, I'm level 125 with 1850 total. So, that's this account. Another thing to further exacerbate the fact that I didn't do anything to better myself wholly on this account was my achievement diaries. I mean, look at those things. Literally, the only one that's even worthwhile that I have is the Kramja Hard, and the only reason I have that is because back in the day there used to be a Kramja shop that you can make a ton of money just selling high alchables to. So, looking at my character and what I have on, essentially this account at the moment is just a backup rune Dragonall if I'm ever really feeling up to it. Looking at the bank, there's really nothing all too much in here. A little bit of GP, also sort of some placeholders for a lot of the inventory that I'm going to need whenever I go out on a trip. I do have a Tanzanite helm, which is pretty cool. As far as my boss KCs, I'll throw that up too. So looking down here, I actually have 1300 KBD KC, which I had no clue was that high. I don't know why. Maybe I was really into that back in the day. I also have 296 Sire, which is, in my belief, the only pet that I have on the account. Beyond that, I do have a lot of Zora KC. That was something I really enjoyed a long time ago and also made me a ton of money. Also a little bit of Venenatis. I love Venenatis as well, as we'll see going into my further accounts, but wasn't too heavy into the PVMing scene back then, so a good amount of KCs, but nothing all too spectacular. But that's most of what you need to see on this account. Essentially just a Rune Dragon alt that I have on the side in case I ever want to really farm in some GP for myself or for you guys. Next up, we have SmallExpLamp. This was the second account that I played on old school RuneScape. This one I tried to take a more holistic approach to the game, so I also ended up getting up to max combat, but I have almost 2.1k total level. There were a couple stats that I did neglect with runecrafting and agility again, but other than that, I did a lot better on this run through. This account was really the first free-to-play to main, I would say. I didn't have the goal of maxing at that time, but I wanted to make a pretty solid account, and I did a good job at that. Looking at the quest, decent amount of quest points, almost 250. Achievement diaries, still very poor. I'm not the best at achievement diaries, at least I hadn't been until lately. Pet-wise, this is actually the account that I've done the most amount of bossing with. I sort of have my pets tiered out here, with the Corporal Beast being my best one. I got this to 50 KC and I sniped it off of a group of my buddies, and that's always a great story. Beyond that, 8 other pets that are pretty decent. Nothing too crazy down there. The Mole Rat did take me quite a while. Looking at the KCs over here, essentially what I focused more on this account was, as you can tell, some mole with 6.5k. Took me forever to get that mole pet. Beyond that, did a little bit of chambers, almost 200 KC. Started really getting into raids. I like Cerberus a good bit as well. Another 1000 KBD KC over here. Still no pet at that point. However, I did end up getting it, as we'll see here in a little bit. I did get 340 Theater Blood KC on this account, and I did that really early on. I ended up getting a site split that was like 850 mil amongst the 4 people, because at the time it was worth like 3.5 bill or something. So that was what sort of kick-started a lot of my accounts and a lot of the GP that I ended up earning. I also had 3k Zora KC and a little bit of Vorkath KC as well. well, but this one was a lot more well-rounded in terms of both stats and boss KCs. Looking at the bank, I'll throw the coins on in here, but I have a 1.64 build bank. However, the 550 mil right here is both money that I've made and has been donated to me through the clan chat that I plan on giving away to members of the clan, whether that be through events or other sort of things that we set up. So that's sort of a stowaway cash stack that doesn't really impact me in any way. Beyond that, the bank just sort of has a lot of utility items. I don't really play this account too much for anything in particular. I make a lot of videos on it and really use it for a lot of that utility, but nothing too crazy in here. I do have all of my achievement capes though, a total of, I believe, 13.99s on this account, which is pretty good if I say so myself. Yeah, we don't talk about this tab right here. This one is worth 262 mil. I bought it for much more than that. Essentially, whenever a lot of the league rewards came out last go around, I figured, okay, well, whenever the rewards come out, there's going to be a high supply of them. So I bought a lot of the Trailblazer tool ornament kits, a lot of the graceful ornaments, twisted horns, twisted blueprints. I bought them because I was like, well, there's going to be high supply, and over time that supply will dry up, and then people will, in my opinion, keep buying them, and then they'll go up in price. That's certainly not the case, and yeah, I've eaten a fat L on these, so I've just been hodling ever since. No plan to ever sell unless they actually start to go up. I hope that they become discontinued, and one day they might be worth what I paid for it. Whether that'll be the case or not, I don't have too high of hopes. Then the next account I have is the MaxExPlamp. This is from the free-to-play domain journey, which I did end up achieving the maxing goal that ended up happening. Never was really my intent when I started the series, because as you can tell from my other accounts, I wasn't really someone that liked maxing in-game. I never really saw it as all that much of a possibility. However, you know, you guys enjoyed the series enough that I felt it was worth keeping going, and I definitely enjoyed being able to finally max an account in old school RuneScape, or just in RuneScape in general, because I really had never been even close to achieving it, so I never really thought it was possible. But you guys helped me see that. Also have a good amount of achievement diaries done. The one thing I am missing is the Western Provinces Elite. Oh, and the Kandarin Elite. Okay, that's fair. I was gonna say, why would I only be missing Western Province? But Kandarin I'm missing because you need level 5 in all roles for Barbarian Assault, and that just sounded terrible to me, so I never wanted to do it. So that's sort of the one fun thing I kept for my account if I ever want to go back to it. A lot of quest points. Whenever I maxed, that was the most amount of quest points that you could get. Now that's sort of been outdated. For the boss KCs on this account, this is the account where I really started to like Cerberus a lot. I did all of my Hellhounds tasks through Cerberus once I was able to, and almost got 3k KC there. Did a lot of Hydra as well, along with some Callisto. Good amount of DKs. I did a lot of KBD again, this time actually getting the Prince Black Dragon, which is pretty cool. Got the Hydra as well, got a Venonata Spiderling, which I did 1.4k KC of there. I actually got duplicate pets of both the Golem and the Rift Guardian on my road to 99. And overall, my boss KCs were pretty good. Nothing too staggering other than Cerberus. The rest are somewhat mundane. I was more so pushing for max rather than pushing for high boss KCs or anything in that regard, because I already had a lot of GP on my other accounts, so I wasn't really pushing GP too much. I wanted to max an account instead this go around, which of course I ended up doing. Looking at the bank here, in the first tab I have all of my 99 capes along with some hoods, nice and assorted. Then I have some graceful sets as well, since I had a lot of marks of grace I really didn't know what to do with. Beyond that, I have a very nice looking tab for my gear. I have a good amount of GP. Along with that, a twisted bow and a max range setup, then a max melee setup, and a pretty good mage setup, I would say. Pretty well sorted, some Slayer utility stuff down here. I also have full Darok, which I use for my Nightmare Zone endeavors. I've been working on that XP a little bit, getting up to 23 mil strength XP, just AFKing on the side while I play my IronMan here and there. And then a lot of other untradables. I like having all of the achievement gear for just kind of sitting around at the ready whenever. And throughout the rest of the bank, there isn't anything too much. Kept it pretty well organized on this account compared to some of the others. And yeah, it's just nice to be able to have something that feels like home, at least in this bank. A lot of my other banks are somewhat messed up, considering I don't usually use them too much since I have 3 to 4 maxed out accounts. But this one's nice and pretty. And then finally, we are on the IronMan account. This was a hardcore IronMan, however, recently has taken the fall that many others have before me. I did have a hardcore before this one that was about 1700 total level. It was a pretty decent iron, but I ended up giving that to a buddy once I died on it, because honestly, I really had no intent to go back and play that IronMan, so I just didn't even really want to keep it. With that said though, this account's looking very, very nice, up to 2137 total at the moment, and getting close to that max level. Still got 140 very long levels ahead of me, but you know, slowly and steadily making our way there. As far as the IAFK a ton boss log, really nothing too crazy going on here. I have a decent amount of Hydra, decent amount of Cerberus. I've been getting into chambers as well. The highest KC I have is Kraken, and that's mostly just because of the fishing explosive change. It makes Kraken a lot more bearable to be able to do. And then beyond that, just a few hundred KC and a lot of different things. Also have a good amount of Zora since I had to complete my sets there. But ultimately, nothing too wild in that regard. I do enjoy bossing on the iron, but also the skilling takes up a good amount of time as well, so we do what we can in that regard. Ultimately, not too much in the bossing end of things. I am looking to improve that as we get closer to max, since now you really can just go ahead and play the game. A lot of people joke about that on accounts, like as you sort of progress, you can actually play the game, and once you max, you can have yourself a grand old time. Put in the wrong pin there, but looking at the bank though, this first tab is very unorganized. On the iron, you just need so many things that it's impossible for me to want to track them all and keep them very well organized, since there's always things like entering and leaving the account. So yeah, you know, forgive me for that. Beyond that, the main tab where I have a lot of my gear is very good. I have all my Zenites, I have a good melee setup, in addition to that, a good mage and range setup as well. I do need to work on the Black D'hide body. I probably should have gotten Carol's at this point. However, originally whenever I was playing on this account, Black D'hide was good. Nowadays, it's not quite the same. But a lot of Slayer utility gear. I really will say, playing the IronMan, there's just so many more items that I have found worth it for me to get on this account than on my other accounts. So looking at untradables and stuff like that, I've done a much better job on this account, which has been really nice. Also, love looking at the herb lore tab at the moment. I just have so many clean herbs that I can go ahead and put to use, so I'm sort of just stacking up a ton of herb lore XP right now. Teleport tab, looking a little rough, but I have a lot of supplies, so at least that's the main thing that matters there. Skilling tab, I mean, again, just so many things going on. It's always sort of crazy just looking at the IronMan account and seeing what all I have. Like just casually 1.2k rune, or you know, like 1,000 plus D'hides, you know, 2,000-3,000 uncut gems. A ridiculous amount of adamant bars, just so many different things that are hanging out in here. So much XP still to be had. Slayer tab's also looking really good right now. I have a lot of high alchables, a little over 50 mil in total, and just so many goodies. Of course, this will only get better and better. I really don't feel like drop trading anything to my main account since I have a good amount of GP over there already, so I really don't need to worry about it. But beyond that, mostly just junk, some extra potions over here, a lot of my quest items, and then some clue scroll things as well. Sort of stacking up some seed packs at the moment for a big old opening whenever I can, along with bird nest seeds. I like being able to have a big mass of them so that I can finally go and crack them all open and see what's inside. But yeah, that is essentially it for the IronMan at this point. Little over 600 mil bank and looking to make that ever higher. Love the extra bank spaces as well. Thank you, JX, for that update. I definitely needed it. Wanted to do a little bit of math and add it all together and see what we got. So between the 4 accounts, as far as my total level, I have 8,367 levels gained. My XP in total is 959 mil XP, getting close to that bill mark, and my overall bank value between the 4 is 3.915 bill. Not including the money that I'll be giving away to other people, so I took that out. Overall, a staggering amount. I've never really added it all up and looked at it like this, but it is pretty cool to see, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. So yeah, that is the account run through for this year. I don't know if I'll make this a yearly thing, but I would like to keep you guys in the loop in terms of all of my accounts and what they're up to and where they've come so far on the channel. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Anything you'd like to tell me, would love to hear in a comment down below. If you want to see more videos like this as soon as we go live, make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure to check out the clan chat in-game SmallExpLamp along with the Discord down below. Both great ways to stay in touch with myself and many others. But with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.